If you're looking for the keys to unlock your reality, then you are in the right place. As always, welcome to the temple. Today I'll be doing part 3 of my personal system, which I call schisms. You should probably know what those are. We talked about them in the previous 2 videos, but that's okay if you don't, because I'll put the link to both of those videos in the description, and as well as I'll put all 3 of them in a series or in a playlist so you can easily watch all 3. Today we'll be doing part 3, which is a bit shorter than the previous 2, and it's just going to wrap up what the whole meaning of the system of schisms is, as well as giving a new perspective, a fresh perspective on the usage of said schisms. This section is called the Trinity of the Mirror, and it's about those reflection exercises we discussed in the previous 2 videos. Along with objectifying with intent and self-talk exercises, as discussed in the previous video, there is also a new Trinity. It is based solely on reflective techniques and sensory perceptions to be implemented in order to unlock and reveal the hidden eye of intuition. In this process, schisms are used to align yourself correctly, and listening while you talk is also very important. The 3 parts of this Trinity are 1, senses, 2, intellect, and 3, intuition, stemming from the initial Trinity, which is body, mind, and spirit. In this new system, the senses are used to mirror the results of the intellect, derive from it, and collect information, while the intellect is in firm pursuit of the eye of intuition. Importantly, when inverted, the intuition is used to practice logos, or the power of the word, creating its own reflections upon the senses, processing this newly found data into the intellect, thus revealing the presence of spirit. So inverted, instead of using the senses to pull from the intuition, it's inverting it and using the intuition to speak out logos, or the power of the word, thus reflecting upon the senses, which send the information to the intellect. That's okay if you don't get it just yet. Here's an analogy. Computers are excellent analogies to this process, if you will. The system, for instance, the system of a computer is the housing of the computer spirit, as an expression, of course. Within a computer system, there exists all the codes and strings of data and information for it to operate. And it is the computer system's role to carry this information upwards into the brain or mind of the computer, while its mind, or the screen rather, processes it and delivers it in an understandable way. If the computer itself is a body which carries with it sensory perceptions, for instance, then the screen is its mind or intellect, which conveys these perceptions, and therefore its system is the intuition, containing the very codes and the symbols of the entity of which it houses, rather. Our new objective thus far is to bypass the screen entirely and connect directly to the system, using the screen instead as a mirror to reflect the unseen realm. In other words, through bypassing the intellect and connecting straight to the intuition using our logos, we are instead using the intellect as a mirror to reflect upon our senses, particularly through the use of sights and sounds. Therefore, our sense perception becomes heightened and our own intuitive ability becomes activated. So, the logos, or the word, is really schisms, the schisms that we've been learning and studying about. Supposedly by now you should have a clear objective of what you want to create, manifest, and learn the secrets thereof, along with an eager longing to connect with that great, all-wise, all-intelligent, celestial spirit. When starting out, the Trinity will be inverted. That is, you will begin practicing self-talk exercises and objectifying your clear intentions. Make sure you have a reader, a radio, or a television ready to serve as a mirror for those reflections. Or you could even use a computer if you want, to be literal. It doesn't matter what it is. The object is only being used to serve as a medium. Also, make sure that with every phrase and every line that you utter, you are also listening intently to the medium or watching it in perfect sync and at the same time, because this is crucial for catching those hidden schisms that like to dart away from you. Remember, schisms occur as lightning bolts, not seconds afterwards. The quicker you are at catching them, the better. As you self-talk, get to know yourself. That is your intuitive self. Your intuitive self has a completely different voice than your normal day-to-day self. So getting to know and understand how it relates to you, your normal self, is essential. This is the self that ends up becoming the real you in the long term, especially in the long spiritual term. Your intuitive self is the unprocessed version of your intellectual self. Therefore, it knows no bounds. It is meant to be expressed in all its flavors, colors, and possibilities. Without judgment, without ridicule or second guessing. This is why isolation is so essential, because it grants you the much needed time to just be yourself, your true self, and let things flow and let the universe channel through you. Through talking to yourself, practicing self-talk exercises, you begin developing a meaningful relationship with yourself, one that lasts even a lifetime and beyond. Even better than that, you are furthermore developing the power of your own word, which is logos, or, the magical practice of schisms. So when you have your medium at hand, whether that be your TV, your radio, etc., it channels your word through it and eventually becomes a mirror to it. It manifests in sync with your voice and in turn reveals secret messages from the hidden realm, all pointing to some higher intelligence. Keep in mind that your senses can work in different ways. For example, when you hear a sound, it could be imprinting an image, upon your mind. Therefore, you are seeing the sound, if that makes sense. Actually, all of your senses have their own special sight. When you smell something, you are also visualizing the image of it in your imagination. And when something touches you, you are also visualizing what it is, what it could be touching you, what it looks like, what the texture of it might be, etc. The hidden realm can make contact with your senses in many ways, but the ways we are primarily concerned with, at least in this work, are through sights and sounds, or rather your inner sight through sounds, if you will. In fact, the more you receive these communications, the more you realize that the spirit, which is in direct contact with you, is not human even, but of God. There's a vast empty space between your inner intuition and mind, and an equally vast space between your subjective mind and the objective reality you perceive. This space is a place full of magic and mysteries, with loads of data and information passing through, like power lines sending electricity to your home from the main power source, which could be miles away. As there can be no such thing as empty space, because empty space is also matter, then there is an invisible substance inhabiting this space, one that carries your communications and reflections, or your senses and perceptions, both to the receiver and also back to you. This substance is of the infinite, meaning all possibilities of things to occur as well as the possibilities of things unknown or yet to be seen. And it's our job to uncover them, right? This universal matter contains the sacred substance of spirit and houses the very genetic code that represents, connects, and unifies you, yourself, and your Elohim, which is your godly, angelic, higher self. It is the brilliant solidarity of you, your mind, the mirror or receiver, and its hidden voice that connects the three of you together, thus the Trinity. This hidden voice is of the substance of God, containing his very sciences, and it is through the realization of these phenomena, along with the wonderful confirmations they bring, that you would give your very life in its pursuit, especially when you realize it. Both the relationship and the wisdom it has to offer are invaluable, but most exclusive and precious to yourself. Once you finally establish and realize that the secret knowledge is coming from a higher intelligence than your own, the messages begin to pour through like a vast river of wisdom. This is when the Trinity becomes perfected, returning to its original state and aligning with the internal spirit that is the source, or the one. This becomes the perfect triad, and it is so potent it can last for days on end. You are now granted the magical power of the word, and now, instead of being only the receiver of these schisms, you become the creator of them. Your word has the power to manifest your will, which means you can make almost anything you want to appear as if by magic. You will learn that it really is a direct relationship and you are the co-creator of your divine self. This higher intelligence will be seeking to connect with you at all times, and once you meet it, you will long for its eternal wisdom constantly. With it, all things come together and make sense. You will understand that we are all one, all part of the same source, and all reflections of our own personal divine self. You will see that everything occurs for a reason. For example, every time the sun shines upon your face, it greets you. Every time the wind blows onto your back, it empowers you. And every time rain falls, it is only there to help you create a new rainbow. It essentially ushers you into the great arc of dawn. So thank you very much. As always, have a great day. Oh yeah, like and subscribe. Thank you.